Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carrie Fonte with Reuzel Education. It's another spectacular Monday Scumbassador live haircut demonstration. And today we are so lucky Christina Pudil is joining us. Christina is outside Denver, Colorado, one of our lady barbers on our team and a spectacular educator. As Christina is going through, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, or feedback, please type them in the box. I'll interrupt her at the appropriate time. And Christina, before I turn it over to you, we already have a comment. Christina, good morning from the Beauty Box in Colorado. It's from Selena. She's your
She's so cute.
She's wishing you good luck.
Oh, yes. Hi, Selena.
With that, I'll stop talking and I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Christina Pudil. I'm a Scumbassador from Colorado Springs, Colorado. And welcome to my shop. Here we have Chris. He's going to be our wonderful model today. And we are going to be focusing on cutting and a little bit of product knowledge, but mostly cutting techniques today. Like Carrie had said, if you have any questions, comments, you want me to use a certain product, or you just want to shout out anything, she'll relay the message to me and I'll go through there. I'll try and answer each one. So what we're going to do, we're just going to kind of get right into it, is go into saturation. So how you would start saturation is 5 parts water and 1 part tonic. This is our hair tonic. This is what's going to give it that refreshing smell, and it takes out any products from the hair. And you're just going to squirt it in your water bottle and give it that refreshing smell. And then you're going to fully saturate the hair.
Christina,
yes?
you cut out for a few seconds there. Will you tell us again about the hair tonic? Sorry.
No, yeah, you're good. So the hair tonic is something we put in the hair in our water bottle to take out the product. It kind of breaks it up, and it acts as a cutting lotion as well. With that, it helps with clean evenness throughout the hair and helps the parting stay clean as well. So we have a even end result. Am I good on the cutout? Or am I still cutting out, Carrie?
Nope, perfect. You were good. Thank you. It was just a wonky thing. You know, technology is a lovely
right? Okay, so what we're doing is we're fully saturating the hair, roots to ends, so then we can get some even partings. Chris here does a skin fade. He is a 2-weeker, so he comes in every 2 weeks, and he does like to pump his hair up a little bit, but with a tighter fade. So with that, we create a baseline to keep our work organized and to really show like Reuzel's foundation, because the baseline is the foundation to our whole entire haircut. And this is going to be the transition from the sides to the top. That's what's going to help us transition to it. So if he has like 6 inches of hair and he wants the bald fade, we can use this baseline to transition that. So how you find the baseline is you find the flattest part of the head. And he has a little recessive point, so you can go ahead and use that, or you can really try and find the flattest part of his head. And then you clip away the hair. Like I said, Chris is a 2-weeker, so we do this haircut on him every 2 weeks. So he's barely growing out, but we'll make it work. And with the baseline, you're going to follow the shape of the head, because really you are trying to create a look that can work on Chris. Like this hair is customized to Chris, and you can use the same technique on Joe, Ryan's hair, and get their hair customized to them. And that's kind of how you sell it too. Like this haircut is customized to Chris. Nobody else has it. So it's really a unique way of cutting hair. So let me grab some clips real quick so then I can really make sure I clip this off. I hope everybody's having a great day today. And we're doing well. Okay, this is going to be a little hard. So I'm going to try and get it the best I can to get his baseline really shown. Okay. So how you can kind of see how I'm following the shape of the head. You're going to follow it all the way through to the nape. follow all the way through. So then we can do one side and then follow with the other side. So we're going to start our dominant side, cut the baseline, and then taper it, and then move to our other side. All right, so I'm using the Beveless Pros, and make sure you utilize your chair and how it moves and swivels, and so you don't want to hurt your back or anything. All right, so with the baseline, you don't want to go past that bend point because anything past that bend point is going to stick straight up. So he's really pushing it right now. So I'm really just going to do the motions, cut any hairs that are not, with the baseline, but really we're just kind of dusting this baseline, and then we're going to do the skin taper to meet to the baseline. So you're going to start over the ear, cut the baseline 90 degrees. Like I said, everything is uniform. You got a 90 degrees. Don't go past that bend point because that's going to be your safety net. And then follow it all the way to the back of his head. Like I said, I'm just doing the motions right now because he doesn't have that much hair to create the baseline, but you don't want to go too heavy with it because we're not trying to create a weight line. We're trying to create a soft transition, and I don't want to go past that bend point because then he'll stick straight up, and then I'm going to have a hard time blending the top of his hair to his bald fade. So something to discuss with your clients, if they like a medium fade, low fade, high fade. One finger is going to be low fade, two fingers is going to be medium fade, three fingers is going to be like more of a higher fade. And we are going to go with a medium fade. So I'm going to take his skin and follow the shape of the baseline, and then I'm going to work my way up. And then I'm going to introduce some beard products into his beard as well, and then we'll kind of discuss how we're going to do the beard as well with this haircut. Because we wanted to keep it as natural as possible. That's kind of the vibe that we're going for, is more of a natural look, so everything grows out a little bit more even. So again, I'm going to start over the ear, all the way closed. And I'm going to follow that shape as the baseline. Because I know that this is going to be my point A, and this is my point B. I like to remember baseline B, and then A to B, and we're taking all that length off. So B baseline, so that's your finishing line from your transition. And we're really just trying to stay organized. It's going to help you stay organized, but also you're not going to get lost. So you know that you started from the ear before. You're going to start there again once you come back. So I'm going to do a notch up, and I'm going to blend that out, move forward, and I'm going to follow the baseline back. Still following the shape. Same thing. All the way open. Pull up a little bit. Follow that baseline. Can you kind of see how it's still following the shape of the baseline? This is all going to be detailed at the very end after we do the final cut, and we'll really detail and get him bald with tapered in with the beard. But for now, we're just doing the rough draft. So I know that this couple, I don't know if you know, but this wall comb is a 1. So with that, you want to take this knowing it's a 1. This is going to be your tool. You don't want to dig into his hair. You don't want to tilt it or dig it any kind of way because that's going to create holes. So you want to keep it very consistent, keep the tension, keep the hair tension all uniformed all the way through. So then it stays organized, and we're just connecting the dots right now. So this is my point A. This is my point A. The baseline is the point B, and we're just going to take that length off. We're just connecting the dots. And really, you can, anything underneath the baseline, you can really customize that however you want. If you want to throw a half guard in there and clean that up, as long as you're using this baseline, it's Reuzel. So you can customize it underneath it any way you want. Usually we don't go past the comb for guards, just because it's a little bit, you can customize it easier with the one, or I'm sorry, I keep saying the one, but the comb is the one. And then just blend this line out. And we work one side, and then we move to the left side. If you're left-handed, then you would start on the left side and move over. So still working fade part. And I know it looks like a little heavy right here, but once we blow dry it, we'll blend it out and it'll be a lot more texturized. Okay, I am going to use my half guard to bump that line out. Isn't it like the coolest hair? Like white and gray and with a dark beard. It works for you. Alright, so I'm blending out that line. Still trying to keep it more of a medium look so that we don't go too high with the fade. Just because that's his preference. And then we will really detail at the very end. All right. So the reason why we do the baseline is to really create a safety net for that transition. And honestly, it's really good for calyx. He actually has a very strong calyx right here. And leaving it longer actually helps with the calyx. So in 2 weeks, you know, some people will be like, when in doubt, cut it out. Do not do that, because in 2 weeks, his hair is going to be spiking straight up. So if you do have a client that does have a lot of calyx, the baseline and this technique of sectioning and a hair in like the hair technique is really, really good for calyx as well. And then we will keep spinning this off my head. Okay, so we have a line there, which I'll buff out, but you guys can see the baseline through there. That's still, we still didn't cut into that. We're just cutting to that. And then we'll taper this, nothing past this little notch because you don't want to fade into this beard too much. And then we'll bald all this at the very end.
Christina?
Yes.
There's a question for you. Where is the clipper lever? Closed, halfway, or open?
Okay, yeah. So when we first start, it's going to be all the way closed. So it's going to be this first notch, all the way closed. That's going to be bald. And as I go back each time, I notch it up each time. So right now I am all the way closed with my comb, which is the 1. And then I'll clipper over comb it with my 1. And then I'll go back with my open because I'm going back down just to buff out that line just a little bit. So right now I'm using it open after I do my 1.
Thank you. Great explanation.
Yeah. And then that is a good question. Just even staying, that's why I really do like the, I don't know if it's babyless or babyless clippers, because when they're cordless, they kind of feel like a flashlight, so you have control in your hand, but also they show the notches in the clipper, so then you can stay a little bit more organized and be like, oh, I know that I was on the 3rd notch. So when you go back, you're not just moving the fade higher and higher and higher. And then I'm going to grab my half guard all the way open, and right underneath the 1, that's where I'm going to put it. And we have a slope on the clipper already. So you don't want to like full blown like flick it up. It already has this slope. So you don't really need to work too hard. You're going to start let the clippers do the work for you. And then just blend that out just a smidge. I'm just meeting my 1. And then I'm going to close it all the way. I'm going to go right above where my open was. still, it's driving me nuts, and I'm sure it'll drive you nuts too. But you have to wait until the end. It's fully dry. You never want to use your blending shears wet. And you got to just trust the process essentially. So I'm actually gonna move to my left side, and I am going to part out my left side of my baseline. I'm just mirroring what I did on that end. And he normally does a hard part, but we can do that at the end if that's what do you want the hard part today, or do we not doing a hard part? I don't think we do one, actually. We just do the double lines, but we're just doing a different cut today. Very, very similar, but different. So what I'm doing over here is I'm putting in my baseline for my left side. And I'll show you in just a second once I get this all clipped up. And then we'll do the same thing. And also, with using the tools that you have, like your hands, your comb, your chair, things that aren't necessarily clippers are really going to help you as well. So if I know that I did my skin on this side 2 fingers, I know that I'm going to do it on this side 2 fingers. So that's how you're going to keep the fade look even and consistent on both sides, by using the tools that you have on your own. And then again, staying very organized. You did the baseline, and then you'll go over the ears, put in your skin, go forward, and then follow all the way through to the nape, and use that same technique until you reach your baseline, and then your fade is complete. So it just keeps you a little bit more organized, consistent. The fades are both even, which I personally think helps, just because people want like an even fade. It's like parting when you braid. You can have a really, really good parting and the braid be mediocre, but it look okay because the partings are very clean. So parted out the baseline. I'm going to go in with my closed and 2 fingers for the medium above the ear. That's where we're starting. And we're going to move forward. And then once you move forward, you're still following the shape of the baseline. So follow it with skin. I know you guys can't see it. I'm sorry, but I will turn in just a second. So I just did close. Now I'm moving up with the next notch. Oh my gosh. Hold on 1 second. Let me just cut in this baseline real quick because it's like super, super short, but I want to still maintain that same technique. Okay, now I'm going in with the half. I mean the second notch. Now third notch. And then you're going to finally do it all the way open. And then we're just going to connect with our 1, so connecting A to B. Having it a little bit angled will soften the lines a little bit, and then it'll help you blend, so you're not doing it like straight or like side. Either way works, but I just noticed that it softens it a little bit if you angle it. So right now I'm just connecting point A to point B to my baseline. Going back through, just connecting. And then I'm going to go in with my, oh my gosh, there's so many people in the hallway. With my half, I'm going to go all the way open, and I'm going to go right above the ear and meet my 1, which was my comb. Go forward, and then follow the shape of the head. And you should, yeah, I'm just going to turn your head. You should meet in the back. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. So right now I'm just taking my half and I'm meeting my 1, and it's all the way open. And then following the nape, and then I'm going to go all the way closed, my half, and just meet my open. Still not going into my baseline. I'm going to go in with my 1 just to meet them. And when you are doing a skin fade, you always want to make sure that you, 1, let the clipper do the work, and then make sure that your clipper isn't too close to the blade, because 1, it'll catch the skin and it'll pull, and it'll, you know, pull their hair. And that's just something with like clippers that I noticed, is that if it's too like close or too bald, it pulls on the hair. And with clipper over comb, it's essentially 1,000 shears. So when you're doing clipper over comb, and if you're used to shear over comb, it's the same thing. It's just clipper over comb, just 1,000 shears, and it's like a lot quicker. So you just would point A to point B, clip it off, and shear over comb is amazing as well. But this is just how we found works. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to resaturate his hair. It's very important. You always want to make sure it's saturated, just so our partings are very even. And this is going to be the transition from the top to the sides. This is where we're going to blend. We're going to meet our baseline. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a diagonal back from his recessive point, and we're going to follow the shape of the head. And we're going to comb that part forward. So this front part is what's going to have our length in the front, and everything behind the part is what we're blending to our baseline. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blend it to my baseline, and again, we're barely even taking anything off. And then if he has a thicker hair and like super long hair, you can do parallel partings, and you'll meet each one all the way until it meets to our baseline, and then you're blended on this side. And then from the parting forward, you're going to scoop all of his hair and do like a C motion and cut it to the baseline. So then that has a gradual slope. So then that's what's going to give it that pompadour look, and it's going to be blended no matter which direction it goes. And we're going to mirror that on this side. Diagonal back, behind the parting, following the shape of the head. Again, this is used so we can just stay organized. Anything past the parting is going to get blended to the baseline, and you're combing to the baseline so then you don't cut into it. And you're going to follow the same shape. The baseline is literally the foundation of the whole entire haircut. So if you have to spend like 10 minutes trying to get the baseline in good, yeah, go ahead and do that. It's what's going to make or break the haircut. All right, C shape on this side, and he is blended from the top to the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shortest point from the back of his hair at his crown, and I'm going to look and see how much the slope is, and I'm going to connect the dots, point A to point B. I'm just going to pull all the hair to the middle, and that's what we're going to cut for the top. Does anybody have any questions about the blending or to the top?
No questions, just a lot of good viewers. And like before, when you answered that question, Scott said, great explanations with a couple of exclamation marks. So thanks, Christina.
Thank you.
As long as you're here, let me tell you that we have people watching from Canada, here in the States, Guatemala, Vietnam, Sweden, and Mexico. So quite an international.
Wow, guys, thank you. I feel honored. That is so cool.
Crowd this morning.
Okay, So I'm creating the slope and really just dusting it, but I'm just making sure that I get that slight slope from the back to the front. So that's what's going to give that illusion of the pompadour. Okay, so now we're getting into the actual haircut. That was just the rough draft. This is the actual haircut. So before you even go to blow dry, blow drying is actually very important. You don't want to just like go crazy with it, because then that's what your end result is going to be, is that it's going to be going crazy. So you want to stay uniform with the blow dry and have a purpose for it. So with that, you want to use grooming tonic. Grooming tonic has a heat protectant. It has a very good scent and a very light hold. So even if your client's like, oh, I don't want any product in my hair, you can be like, oh, well, actually I added this into it, and this is a great product for somebody that wants to wash and go, and or curls. It's very good for curls. I actually use this when I do my sets on my own hair, just because it has such a slight hold. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in his hair.
Christina,
Yes.
while you're doing that, I want to share a feel-good comment. A gentleman from Vietnam says, wow, super girl barber. I'm from Vietnam. Idol you. So you're
Oh, that's
such a great job.
awesome.
Your international viewers are loving what you're doing.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, that makes me good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so once I have it from roots to ends, having a heat protectant is always good just for their hair in general, having a barrier between the heat of the blow dry and their hair. Just like for straighteners or anything like that, you want to be able to have that barrier between the hair and the blow dry. So what we're gonna do, so got the grooming tonic in, and then we got our vent brush. The vent brush is going to allow the heat of the hair dryer, the air actually go through the vents, so it doesn't get trapped in the brush. And then also, if you kind of choke it up a little bit, you can feel the heat and the temperature on your fingers. So then you know that if it's getting too hot, you can feel it before your client does. And then, yeah, it's a great brush to utilize. So I'm gonna try to scream over the blow dry, but you want to do high pressure, medium heat, and then you want to work your way forward. So you don't want to put wet hair on top of dry hair. You want to work in sections up, and you're going to work the same direction, one side, then the other, and then move your way up. So I'm going to start with the back. I'm going to go this straight down. Always have a nozzle on this because you want the air to be directed in one direction and it stays uniform. So medium heat, high pressure. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Oh my God. Sorry, I did not plug my blow dryer in. Okay. He has a strong calic through here. He has a calic through here, but he's at his bend point. So I know that he will still lay down. And if it lays down with water, it'll lay down with product. But you also want to give him a style that he can do at home. And you can educate him on how to do this. So at this point, when you're blow drying, be like, hey, so this is how I'm going to achieve it. And this is how you could achieve it at home. Because we can do this all day. They just need to learn how to be they need to get taught how to be educated on how to style their hair like this. So high pressure, medium heat. Sorry. And you want the direction of the blow dryer to go the direction that you want it. So if you want the hair to go down, put the direction of the blow dryer down. And the back part of the head is we want to be flat. And then as we move up, that's when we'll create that volume. Swap hands. Work your way up. My headpiece does not reach this far. All right, so from the ears back, I like to lay flat, and then the ears forward is where I start to build. And even with, if he was going to style it forward, I like to have them from the ears back lay forward if they have a calic, and then if they put the volume ears forward, and then that's where their style is. Especially if they have a calic, because the calic usually likes to lay with the swirl of it, so don't fight against it. But this one, we're going to kind of manipulate it a little bit. At the recessive points, that's where we're going to go straight up with it, and we're going to start building some height. You just like started up here. At the front part, you want the nozzle to go straight up. And actually, Nick Fury, thank you for this. He taught me when you style to tilt his head forward and then let it kind of gradually get some volume on its own. But that's with product. I'll show that again. But a little shout out. Okay, so we got him fully blow dried. We're gonna go through and we're actually gonna start the haircut. I'm gonna use our blending shears. And with the blending shears, it's very, 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 very important that you do not use them on wet hair. And you're just cutting to cut, and there's no purpose to it. You want to make sure there's a purpose for every single snip that you do. One snip is 25% of discarded hair, 2 snips is 75, 3 snips is 100% gone. So keep that in mind because you really can do some damage with some texturizing shear or blending shears. And also, you don't want to go too deep in the head because if you go super, super deep, you'll collapse the hair and then you'll start to create holes, which we also don't want. And we get to use shear over comb. So we're utilizing both clipper over comb and shear over comb. And so we get both the best of both worlds. So again, we're going to start over the ear. And then we're going to move forward and follow the baseline, staying very organized. And then just slowly start to texturize up, and we're going to move forward, blend up, and then follow the baseline back. And I'm just slowly moving my comb up with my shear on it, and I'm just softening that baseline so it's not as harsh. And if you do feel like it was super long, that's okay, because you know that 3 snips is going to cut that off, but we just needed that safety net so then he didn't have hairs sticking up everywhere. And so we're going to follow the shape of the head and just really blend, going from his skin to the top of his hair. And I'm going to start again. And I'm gonna go a little bit into the hair, just not too deep, just a little bit to soften the top of his head, but still keeping the same organized technique. And then you don't get lost. And then this is where, after we blend, we're gonna do the detailing. Can I get a thumbs up on the live? How many of you guys actually use Reuzel's beard line? I know it is one of my favorites. Chris, definitely a favorite. When you are doing the beard trim in the shop, you have to have the beard balm and you have to have the oil. Hands down, best products I've had. With the serum, you actually, it's not an oil, it's a serum, so it moisturizes and it penetrates the beard, so it gives it more of a, not super, super shiny, but it doesn't leave any residue on, like, if they have a collared shirt or anything like that. It's a great product, and I'll show you guys how to use that today. I'm just finishing up blending on this side, doing shear over comb. And then when we go through in detail, that's where I'll taper the beard and we'll add those products in. And, you know, educate your clients on it. Be like, hey, look, the difference between an oil and a serum is this. And that is that one is going to actually moisturize and penetrate the hair, and the other one's just going to sit on it. It's more of a styling aid. And the balm has a little bit more of a hold. It's like a chapstick for the beard. And then we have the beard wash, which is going to be completely awesome, especially it's like the start of the beard trim, and then the oil, and then finish out with the balm. And it really just, it's attention to detail, and it really shows your client that you care about his beard and you're educating them on it. And it's definitely a 3 needed products in the shop if you do a lot of beard trims, for sure. Sorry, I just rambled on about some beard products. Okay, so I'm blending out this left side, and then we are going to detail. Once you are satisfied with it, and you got what you're kind of feeling, whether it's you know, heavy in some spots or anything like that, go ahead and do that now, and then you'll start to detail. Okay, so because I know that I went close, 2 fingers here with my I gotta figure it out, is it babyless or bubbleless? I don't know. Close with these, and then I'm going to go in with my trimmers, and I'm going to go right under it. Because I did 2 fingers with the medium with the close on the bobbleless, I'm going to do 1 finger with the trimmer right underneath it to give it that clean, bald fade. Again, going over the ear, hitting it right there. I don't want to go too in here or line him up here, because in a week he's going to have all this stubble, and that's not his natural parting, and or not parting, his hairline. So you don't want the stubble to grow back and hit everybody be like, oh, he needs a haircut. But really, if you just go right above it, it's more natural. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go over the ear, forward, 1 finger above the ear, since I went 2 fingers for the close, for the medium. And same for the other side. And then if you have them in the shop, that's when you'll just hit the sideburns in the back of the neck with the super shaver. I'm not going to do that today, just for timing issues and stuff. But you would do that after the trimmers. So you got your closed clippers, your trimmers, and then your bald fade or a straight razor. So you just got to keep it very organized. But you don't want to go too far down here, because then you're going to start to create a whole nother fade into his beard, and we like it fuller. So I'm going to start out with the beard wash. So the beard wash, you want to tip it all the way upside down, and it's going to be a foam. Emulsify it in your hands. Explain to your client, like, this does not wash out. It's more of just like a gets any debris or any scent out of the beard. And it looks kind of cool because it's a foam. And we're just going to taper it to his little notch in his ears through here. I'm going to line him up, and I'm not doing a full beard trim on him. I'll do his neck and his taper through here, and then we'll do the serum. But I just wanted to show you guys how I use the beard products on a client that has a beard with a skin fade. So I did a taper here with the trimmer. I'm going to go closed on the clipper and do the opposite direction and do each notch all the way down to my all the way open. Same on this side. Add my half guard to it because I know that's my next step after an open. Close it up. Open it each time, each knot. And even if you don't get any hair off of it, you're still doing the motions. And then after that, we got our one, which is our comb. And we just hit a couple little hairs just to make sure we blend just a smidge. Same for this side. And if they do like a tighter like cheek, that's a consultation with your client, and then that'll kind of determine how far you take down your one. But really, these tools right here are all you need for a beard trim. Well, and this one, but for the beard itself. So I'm gonna I'm gonna trim the back side of his beard through here. Keep it straight. And then this little notch in his lip, that's where you want the line to be. Anything lower than that, he's going to have a giant chin strap, and he doesn't want a cheek beard. And for his beard underneath, you got his Adam's apple right here. You want to tell your client, like, hey, don't go past your 2 fingers, because then you'll start to go and create a line on his jaw, which will expose this piece on his jawline. And we don't want him to look like they have a double chin when he doesn't have one. So just make sure you educate your clients if they do their own trimming at home. So keep that line in.
Christina.
Yes.
Great beard advice. A couple of comments. Like one gentleman said, "Perfect timing. My son's beard needs a trim." So
okay, good.
And then we have from Mexico has joined us now. From Venezuela has joined us now. It's really a lot of fun this morning all around the world. And I just wanted to let you know, I had asked everybody what products they think that you should finish the haircut with. So I'll let you know as we get some answers back.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just added the serum in just because it helps with getting the comb through when you're combing it. And also, you're introducing the product into your clients, and even give it to them. Give your client the product. They can see what it looks like. They can smell it, and then you can educate them on it. And then you do the beard trim. I'm not doing the beard trim. I'm just gonna line them up, and then how are we looking on time? Are we good? Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna
about 15 minutes left. And you know what, Christina? Maybe what you can do is another Facebook Live for us where you do his beard trim. I'd love to see a beard trim. Maybe we can do a couple of beard trims, different styles there.
Oh yeah, totally. Are you cool if I just line them up just a little bit underneath here, guys?
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. So another pointer for people that are just now getting into, sorry, Chris, that are just now getting into beard trims. What I like to do is tilt his head up so he's not like all cranked back like this whole entire time. You tilt his head to the side, you edge it to this middle part, and then you go to the other side and do the same thing. So the same concept with the Reuzel cut, working one side to another. That's what you'll do with the beard trim as well. And then you'll just take that off. And usually, just like the Reuzel technique, if you stay consistent with one side, they should meet in the middle on the other side. And also, it's a little bit more comfortable for the clients to hold their neck to the side, keep a straight back. Some people put their clients on the back of the headrest. That's also very cool too. This is just how I felt worked for me. And then even if, this is what I just do in my shop, doing like a little lineup or even just like the the cheeks or whatever. It's just a little added service. I just like to introduce the product to them, and then that's when I would introduce like the eye cream or the, you know, the cologne, something else to make sure that your client is educated on all the products that Reuzel does carry, because Reuzel has a hair product for every hair type. We just got to find which one suits you. So, Carrie, did we find out what we're using on Chris's hair today?
We've had 2 responses, and one was to combo pink and green, and one was concrete.
Okay.
So but did you have something else in mind that you know would
No,
work?
that works. I was just gonna show them the difference between the blue and the fiber, just because they're both in the like
Well,
the one
let's do
was
that
matte.
then. Let's do that because that's something we haven't seen in a while, Christina.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna use this one on the right side of his hair, and it's gonna kind of, you'll see what that looks like, and then I'm gonna use the blue on the left side of the hair, and then I'm just gonna mix them all together so you guys can see what they both look like on a salt and pepper look. Because sometimes people with salt and pepper they don't really like their grays, so the shine, which would be Reuzel blue, which is a water soluble, it kind of camouflages the grays a little bit because it has more of a wet look, just like if you was going to wet his hair. And then the fiber is going to have more of a matte, but it has like a paste feel. So we're just going to combo these two, just so I can kind of have fun and show you guys what they look like. It's going to be interesting. And then when you do like educate your clients on how to do their hair, let them know, like take a little bit of product, 2 knuckles worth, emulsify it in your hands on top of your knuckles, and show them how to do it. So if we go like this and then like this to get it all the way in, show them how they would do it at home. Because like I said, we could do this all day, but they need to know how they can achieve this look at home. So, and especially with the pompadours, they do take a little bit of time to do, but once you get the hang of them, people are always like, "Oh my gosh, I love your hair," which I personally love when people comment on my clients' hair and ask me what products they used. Okay, so can you kind of see one is a little bit more shiny, which is going to create the dark, and then this one is a little bit more natural looking, like it's a little bit softer, but with like a slight shine. So right now, I'm going to combo the two. So I'm going to add a little bit more blue, and then we're going to really create the pompadour look. So water soluble is going to wash out of the hair. The greens and the red, the green and the pink, those are the grease. They're have beeswax in them, so they stay in the hair. I actually just found out on the Rumble at the Rockies that the green's actually really good for braiding because there's beeswax in it, so it actually doesn't itch the head when you are doing a braid. All right, so when you are creating this pompadour, you want to start with the back and work your way forward, just like the blow dry. And then use your hands, utilize your hands, and that's where you can get that shatter look. And that's where it starts to create that slope. You guys kind of see that?
It's looking good, Christina.
Thank you. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to try to attempt to do what Nick did at Rumble and see if we can get this even higher. So I'm going to finish out my metal pick, which is amazing. I think you guys can order them straight from the website or get with Carrie or somebody, and they can get you a pick or, online. Okay, so tilt the head forward. And what he did was just hold it straight out. So then when you do it, it's already tilted forward. I mean, it's straight up with the head. Well, and he has like this massive pick, which I really want to get. But you guys kind of see that? See how it's a little bit more,
Oh, that did give it a little extra height there.
a little extra height, yeah. I'm gonna do the same on this side. All right. So, what do you guys think? We got him a skin fade, little serum, little beard wash. Got some blue with some fiber combo here. And then, yeah, all fade.
Can you
Why
spin
does
them in the chair once, Christina? Can you spin them slowly so we can see? Spectacular.
I can't go too far the other way because the camera's there.
Oh, gotcha. There's that technology stuff again.
I know, I know.
Oh,
We got
perfect.
this side. Then we got this side.
Thank you.
Using all Reuzel technique and with a little bit of splash of Christina. And then I just want to say thank you guys so much for attending my live. I'm super excited. And Chris, thank you so much for being my model. I know I was like freaking out this morning, but I appreciate you guys all so much. And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, I'm Christina. I'm your local Scumbassador in Denver or Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I'll be here to answer any of them. And then, yeah, thank you guys so much.
Christina, what's your Instagram handle if anybody wants to follow you?
Yes, so it's CPUDIL08. That's my Instagram. And then if you guys do a haircut.
Perfect. Thank you. Because there's a lot of really good love. And if anyone wants to follow you, thank you everybody for being with us today. You know, we'll be back next Monday, but I need to, Nicholas asked me to do a blatant commercial / infomercial. We are going to be Reuzel at the premier Columbus Hair Show, Columbus, Ohio, October 2nd and 3rd. And we need models.
Yes.
So yes, models. Christina just did Rumble in the Rockies. She can tell you models. So if you know anybody that can be a model for us in Columbus, Ohio, please reach out to Nicholas on Facebook, reach out to me, reach out to Nicholas on Instagram, send them our way. Christina, what was your Instagram handle one more time? Danny asks.
CPUDIL08.
CPUDIL08. I just typed it in there for everybody, Christina, so they'll all get it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, thank you, everybody, so very much. Always good to have you with us. Christina's an awesome, awesome job. And we'll see you all next week. Stay safe and be well. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Be